I'm going to show you how I've made this particular design and how you can extend this to make it into a cushion cover, a bedspread, a placemat, and many more such products. So we begin with a magic circle and then chain 3. This chain 3 acts as our first double crochet. We'll make 14 more double crochets into the magic circle, so the total will be 15. I've made a total of 15 double crochets, including the first chain 3 that acts as our first double crochet. Now slip stitch into the top of that chain 3. I use the front loop and the back loop of the third chain to make my slip stitch. This completes round number 1. Again, chain 3, and right where you just made the slip stitch, make 1 double crochet. So these are 2 double crochets. The chain 3 acts as a double crochet as well. 2 double crochets made in the same stitch, which is called a double crochet increase. We will be making 2 double crochets in each of the stitches. That will give us a total of 30 double crochets for this round. 1 and 1 more in the same stitch. At the end of round 2, I have 30 double crochets, 2 in each of the stitches from round 1, and completing once again by making a slip stitch in the top of that chain 3 using the front loop and the back loop. Now to begin round 3, chain 3, and once again start with a double crochet in the same stitch. So that's an increase in the first stitch, 2 double crochets. In the next stitch, make only 1 double crochet. Again, in the next stitch, make an increase. That's 2 double crochets in the same stitch. And in the next, only 1 double crochet. Following this format of 2 double crochets in the same stitch and 1 double crochet in the next stitch, we should get a total of 45 double crochets for round 3. Here I have 45 stitches after round 3. To get seamless edges and accurate stitch count for the next row, you can replace the slip stitch with an invisible join. This is how I do it. At the end of your final stitch, pull the yarn through. Now insert your hook from the back side, wrong side of the work, into stitch number 2 and let this tail pass through that stitch and go towards the back of the work. Now insert your hook again from the back side of the work within the last stitch, and once again draw your yarn and push it to the back of your work. This creates a dummy stitch which you can adjust to look like the rest of the stitches. That dummy stitch sits on top of the first stitch, and this is how you get a seamless edge. This is also helpful when you're making projects where stitch count is very important. So now I don't have any extra stitches. A slip stitch looks like an extra stitch and often gets counted, which leads to mistakes. Now I'm just going to let this yarn go down to the center of my work towards the magic circle, where I will eventually tie these two together and weave the tails back into my work. I have made only 3 rounds, but if you want to make it bigger, here are the instructions on your screen. Basically, the increase pattern keeps on changing. For the last row on my piece, that is round 3, I have done increase followed by 1 double crochet. If you were to increase this round in the same color before starting the shell pattern, you would do increase followed by 2 double crochets. For the next round after that, increase followed by 3 double crochets, increase followed by 4 double crochets, and so on. Now, let us understand how do we make these shells. To get this gradient effect, I have used a gradient yarn. Although this is not exactly a gradient yarn, this is a multicolored yarn. For our pattern, it works beautifully. Start with a slip knot on the hook and in any of the stitches, directly make a double crochet. To directly start with a double crochet, yarn over, hold that yarn over on the hook with your finger and insert your hook into the stitch and make your double crochet as usual. This is the first double crochet. Now chain 1 and make one more double crochet in the same stitch. That forms a shape of the letter V. Now skip the next 2 stitches and start with a double crochet in the third stitch. Chain 1, one more double crochet in the same stitch. Keep continuing this all around. Skip 2 stitches, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet again in the same stitch. At the end of the round, make a slip stitch in that first double crochet. This completes this round. Now to begin the next round, first we need to enter this chain 1 gap. So make 1 slip stitch into the gap. Now once again, we will be making shells. The previous shell was 1 DC, 1 chain, 1 DC. For the next round, we are going to make chain 3 that acts as our first double crochet. Make 1 more double crochet in the same space. So that's 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 more double crochets in the same space. So for this round, the shell is made of 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. Directly jump to the next shell with 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 double crochets. Keep continuing this all around. When you've completed this round, once again, slip stitch into that first DC. Remember the chain 3 was our first DC. So I'm going to go in that chain 3 and create a slip stitch. To begin the next round, we need to reach in this chain 1 space and we have 1 double crochet in between. So we'll make 1 more slip stitch into that double crochet and then 1 slip stitch into the chain space. This is how you travel with the slip stitches to reach this chain 1 gap. Here now for the next round, once again, start with chain 3 that acts as our first double crochet, and this time we'll create 2 double crochets. So we have a total of 3 double crochets. After which chain 1 and 3 more double crochets into the same chain 1 gap. So this is the shell for this round, which is 3 DC, chain 1, 3 DC. We'll continue this round with 3 DC, chain 1 and 3 double crochets. I'm sure you've understood the concept of the design by now. In each of the chain spaces, we create a shell. So for the first round, we created DC, chain 1 DC. For the next round, we created 2 DC, chain 1, 2 DC. For the next round, we are creating 3 DC, chain 1, 3 DC. So obviously for the next round, we'll make 4 DC, chain 1, 4 DC, 5 DC, chain 1, 5 DC, and so on. This is how you can make your piece as big as you want. Made 5 rounds for my crochet piece here. So I'll see you after I have reached the 5th round. 5th round is going to be 5 DC, chain 1, 5 DC. Now once you've completed the piece to its desired size, in order to make the ribs, bring back the original color with a slip knot on the yarn and inserting your hook in any of the skipped stitches. There are 2 skipped stitches. Select the one that is closer to the next row of shells. So this is number 2. I have inserted the hook through the stitch and now pick up the slip knot. The arrangement of the yarns is important. The yarn stays behind your piece. Now, through the gap, Between the shells on the first row, insert your hook and draw the yarn. Then make a slip stitch. Now through the gap between the shells on the next row, insert your hook and make one more slip stitch. Keep doing this till you reach the top. So in the gap on the next row, insert your hook and create a slip stitch. If your rows are too tall, you can add an additional chain in between, then make the slip stitch on the next row. And finally, one slip stitch on the top. Now we build the shell. So through every stitch, make a slip stitch. Once you've reached the center chain one gap, in that gap, create one single crochet. And again, in all the stitches, make one slip stitch. This is what we've created so far. Now, in order to work downwards, we're going to rotate our piece, still keeping the working yarn under. We start working downwards. Once again, through each of the rows, between the gaps, insert your hook, draw the yarn, and make a slip stitch. Wherever you put an extra chain while climbing up, don't forget to put an extra chain through the next row, a slip stitch, and an extra chain through the next row, a slip stitch, through the next row, a slip stitch, through the next row, a slip stitch. Remember to keep the count identical on both sides. Once you've completed this, go down to that skipped stitch and insert your hook in that stitch. Draw the yarn and create a slip stitch. This completes the rib for one petal. Now rotate your work again through the next skipped stitch, insert your hook and create a slip stitch again. Push the rib to the side to be able to see all the rows. Now once again, we'll start building the rib upwards. So through the next row, so through the first row, I've created one slip stitch. Through the next row, one slip stitch. Through the next row, one slip stitch and an extra chain. Through the next row, one slip stitch and an extra chain. Through the next row, a slip stitch and an extra chain and one slip stitch at the top. This is how you create the ribs and complete your top with slip stitches in every stitch and a single crochet in the chain one gap. This one is done. Once again, let me demonstrate how I go downwards.